So let's carry on. We have finished with Mother Fletcher's gift, the vocabulary and the critical and practical questions. Here I'm going to explain Hachiko. I know that everyone loves Hachiko, the loyal dog. Of course, Hachiko really existed, okay? In Japan, okay? In the Shibuya station. I'm so sorry, my tablet was about to fall. The tablet, the one with on which I'm writing, okay? So, as usual, let's remember together who is the author. It's Pamela Esterner. The illustrator, it's Yanna Shimbini. She is Japanese, I think. The genre is historical fiction for two reasons. First of all, it's history. It happened in the past. Second of all, it's fictional because the story didn't really like happen in that way. We have said that the writer of the story wanted to honor this dog through writing an imaginary story about him. But by the end, and remember, when I'm talking about Hachiko, I say he and him because we really should respect that dog, or we're not going to use it, okay? So he wanted to honor him, he wanted to honor the dog, okay, by writing this story, which is an imaginary story about a real dog. But by the end of the story, he said something which was great. He said, but I'm sure that this story really happened with a boy or a girl. He doesn't know. Okay, he was like 100% sure that someone or a little kid or a little girl loved Hachiko that much and cried after Hachiko died. So he tried and he imagined that story, which is fictional. It's not real. Hachiko really stood there for 9 years waiting for his owner, the Mr. Ueno, the university professor, but the story didn't really it didn't happen that way. Okay, the sit-in, where exactly? The Shibuya train station in Japan, back in the 20s. The characters, of course, Kintaro, the girl, her parents. They were good parents, unless when they said we don't have a place for enough space for Hachiko. Dr. Ueno, of course, the owner of the dog, Hachiko itself, and the gardener, of course, the last person in our story who took care of Hachiko. Now, in this story, we had eight new high frequent words. Okay, furious, morsel, rough, nudge, quietly, stooped, wiggle, and fixed. The first one is furious, which means extremely angry, marked by noise and excitement. When you are furious, by the way, there is a film which is The Fast and the Furious. I like it so much. So when you are furious, you are so angry, but you are expressing yourself through shouting, like with a loud, deafening voice. I'm expressing myself. I'm angry. That's furious. Now, morsel, and guess what? I know this word because there is a word that looks like it in French, which is morceau. When you say, for example, donne-moi un morceau de gâteau, which means give me a morsel of cake. Okay, morsel is a small, like small pieces. Okay, two a small bit or piece of food. Morsel. Number three is rough. Rough means the fur or hair that grows on the animal's neck. This part. Okay, that's what we call a rough. To nudge, to push something with its noise. I'm so sorry, no, not noise. Noise is with furious. With its nose. Okay. When we say the dog nudges the ball, it pushes the ball with its nose. Nose. Yes, nose. So quietly, of course, everyone knows what does it mean quietly. To be quiet, to be silent. Then stooped, it's not stopped, it's stooped to low or bend the body downward. Okay, you remember when the gardener, when Hachiko died, or when Hachiko's owner died, he bent over to touch the neck of the dog. Then, wiggle. Number seven. I have, for instance, I have tried to explain this word in Arabic, which I don't like. Okay, it's a time of watching. تأمل. They're going to punish me, okay? They're going to punish me because I'm using Arabic words to make it easier for you. Now, something which is fixed, it doesn't move. When we say the dog's eyes were fixed on my food. So the eyes are fixed. It doesn't, or they don't move. Let's carry on. Use each word below in a meaningful sentence. Nudge morsel fixed quietly. That's too easy. Now put true or false depending on what you have understood from Hachiko. Kintaro is a real person in Hachiko's story. No, Kintaro didn't exist. That girl didn't exist. Only Mr. Ueno existed. The story of the royal dog Hachiko is fiction, not a real story. First of all, we say fictional and 2 points, not a real story. So let me correct this because I didn't write this, by the way. Okay, not a real story. So here, it's better to have not a real story. So that's, of course, false. It happened, the story, but not the same story we had in the book. Hachiko's statue is placed in Japan nowadays. Yes, it's there. But during World War II, the first one, it was taken by the Japanese army, as I told you, and it was melted because they didn't have enough bullets to fight. Okay, so they melted all the statues in Japan. Now, Hachiko's statue is placed in Japan nowadays. Yes, Dr. Ueno and Hachiko had been together for 3 years. 1 year, only 1 year was enough for that dog to stand 9 years waiting for Dr. Ueno. The first statue of Hachiko was destroyed during World War II. Yes, it was. It was not destroyed, it was like melted because they needed it. I don't agree with that. People in Japan celebrate Hachiko's festival on July the 8th, which is wrong. They celebrate it on April the 8th. Those people really respect animals, and that's what we should do. Answer the following questions depending on what you have understood from Hachiko, of course. Describe the relation between Kintaro and Hachiko. Of course, loyalty, friendship, faithfulness, love, all of that is accepted. At first, Kintaro was scared from Hachiko, but then they had a strong connection together. They were really connected. Why did Kintaro's parents refuse to adopt Hachiko after Dr. Ueno's death? They didn't have enough money. Those people were poor, okay? They didn't have enough space. I respect that. It's not a problem. You see, I respect that. Why did Hachiko keep going to the station for 7 years after Dr. Ueno's death? Look, some people they say after for 7 years, but I'm 100% it's 9 years. You see? Maybe because Hachiko hoped that Dr. Ueno will come back again, or he waited at the station to honor his master's memory. Now we have 2 things to talk about here. It was not only because of that. The dog didn't know that his master died, number one. Number two, if he knew, which I'm sure of, okay, because those animals, they have like strong senses, you see. So I'm sure that he was honoring that master because he loved that master. What is the thing that stayed after Hachiko's death? Some people told me the statue of Hachiko. No! His memory, his faithfulness, his loyalty. That's, those are the things that stayed all together with the statue. Okay, I agree with that. Those are the things that stayed after Hachiko's death. Thank you so much. Good luck in the exam. Goodbye.